Hi, my name is Will Gibb, and this is Uncommon.
From mediums, who are the people that you really, really love when it comes to comedy?
I don't watch much comedy.
Yeah, you watch a lot of like drama and
horrors and stuff.
Yeah.
But like for me, I think like comedy people. Okay, my number one is Steen Raskopoulos because he taught me. So when I was in year 7, he taught me comedy, and he's like, I will always think that he's the reason why like I've been able to pursue comedy for a career because he just threw me into the deep end in year 7. Like he saw something in me in year 7 and just like really like helped me harness everything. And he was incredible. Like I remember like one of the first drama lessons, like I was like, it was like my 5th or 6th week in drama, and he like came to the year 7 because they were split into year groups at the time, and he was like, "Oh, Will, can you come with me?" And I was like, "Oh my god, like Steen teaches like the big kids," and he like brought me in. So I was 12, and then he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be with the year 12s now." So I was doing comedy with like 17, 18-year-olds, and I was 12
at school.
At Scott's, yeah. Like I was put in the senior group.
Really?
Yeah. So I was doing that, and obviously they were all way better than I was because they'd been doing it for like 6 years. So like doing it with the older kids made me, I don't know, I just felt like I was getting on their wavelength, and you know, and then I started doing it. They would graduate, and then now I'm in year 8, and you know, it was kind of like that. So Steen, great. And I go to all his shows. I've seen all of his shows. Like he's just fantastic. And I'm not really too sure, like, otherwise, it's mainly local people. Like, yeah, I don't have too many big inspirations. Auntie Donna's a big one. They were great. They are great. They were great.
They were great. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No. They're
Sorry,
fantastic. And
so you never had like you've never really watched like Eddie Murphy's Raw or anything like that and gone like, that's my shit?
Not really. Just because, like I like comedy movies. Hot Rod was, have you seen Hot Rod? Andy Sandler. Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. Yeah.
Andy Samberg in Hot Rod.
Okay.
The only good thing he's ever done. What else has he done? Oh yeah, Lonely Island
is probably
one.
The best thing.
Yeah, Lonely Island's fantastic. Andy Samberg in Hot Rod. I love. I like Bill Hader and Fred Armisen when they're doing sketches together, but nothing else ever.
So only sketches, not movies. I love Bill Hader in movies.
Yeah, I like Barry, but that's like a drama.
Yeah, because I don't know. Whenever they do sketches, I just think of SNL, and I can't stand SNL. It's not my shit.
I think there's some really funny sketches that there's SNL. Ari Aster is a horror director, but he is so funny. His comedy is the best.
You're right. Can I just say, you liking Hot Rod, the movie with Andy Samberg, it's got like 39% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a cult classic. Napoleon Dynamite's a great comedy. Like, I just like the weirdly, like, I don't know, like I don't like, I like This Is the End, actually. That's my probably most basic hilarious comedy.
Yeah. I think, that is amazing just because of the amount of people they managed to get into it.
Yeah, and it's just silly and fun, and you know, like I think it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have like big comedic. I don't like watching it. I just don't think it's very.
Yeah, you've always said that.
I like seeing comedy in a film that isn't a comedy because you're like, oh, this is great because it feels raw. Like when you see someone trying to be funny all the time, it's like, oof.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's almost like there's a bit of cringe in it for you.
Yeah. I like seeing things that are like, oh, that's funny because it's so fucked up. Like I've got this weird look on comedy, right? Where like if I woke up one day and I had a headache, I'd be like, this sucks. This is so annoying. I have a headache. And then if I smacked my head on the shower as I get in, I'm like, fuck, I already had a headache and now I've smacked my head on the shower. This is so bad. But if I'm walking out of the shower and I slip over and I hit my head again, I'm like, oh my God, like I need to go to the hospital. This is so painful. This is so bad. And then I get a call and it's like, your grandma just died. I think that call is now hilarious because there's been so many funny, like so many awful things that have happened. Eventually it becomes funny.
Yeah, right.
A comedy of disasters, I think.
It's like dark humor.
Yeah, I just think yeah.
So did you ever like black books or anything like that growing up?
Mm-mm. I never watched. I liked one episode. I remember one scene from it. I think there's like a cleaner comes in and he's like, even the air is dirty, and he goes like that.
Yeah, right.
That was funny. If I watched it now, I'd probably kill myself. But no, I'm joking.
If you jump back to Arnie Donna, were there any other skit comics that you watched because that's clearly your thing, at least in the medium of social, right?
Yeah.
Like your stand-up is not skit comedy. It's you talking to an audience.
Yeah.
With some impressions. That's actually one of the things that you remix pretty well, is like putting in the impressions within it. I quite like. But like, is there anyone other than Auntie Donna that you watched early on where you thought like, oh, this is cool?
The Bear Pack, but that's Steen again. It's another guy. Like they just do like improv stuff. No, I don't know. Like, yeah. No. Tim Robinson. Recently, this guy called Tim Robinson, and he does this show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave.
Right.
Those are all like 10 out of 10, like the best.
Because when I think about it, when you were growing up, skit comedy really, this is, I guess, why Auntie Donna did so well, because skit comedy had just not been as prominent as it was in the 5 or 7 years prior. So, you know, there were shows like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but like Skit House was massive for me as a teenager growing up. It was a huge, huge show. You had Full Frontal. That was sort of more for kids who grew up in the 80s, but there were big Australian shows, skit shows, right? And you'll recognize, it would all be the usual stuff. Like you'd see like a Dave Hughes or someone in that show, and then you see that, and then Comedy Fest came along and you go see them live. Yeah. But then there was nothing for 7 or 8 years or something like that. And then you started sort of seeing skits come back on YouTube. And that's where you got sort of Auntie Donna being the big push of that, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, like that recent wave, they've definitely been
it's just interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. I prefer sketch comedy, but I like doing stand-up. I want to do maybe some sketch on stage. I don't feel very creatively rewarded from TikTok because it just feels a little bit like, not cheap, but it feels like half of what a sketch is, if that makes sense. Yeah. Or I don't think that's fair to say. I just think it's like a different type. You know,
TV and streaming is where you can really get into sketch comedy.
But that's where that's where it is sketch. You know, I just say what I do on TikTok is just like a 45-second character thing.
It's a skit.
Yeah, it's just like a skit thing.
Timing.
Like it doesn't. Yeah,
like Josh Garlic does really well.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't really say it's like sketchy or any. I'd just say it's like a impression, or I don't really know. But it's like, I'm not saying I still think what I do is funny, but I just don't feel like it's creatively, the most amazing thing in the world. But that might just be the app itself.
Well, your audience thinks otherwise, especially when you get
they're 11
private school boys.
Yeah, true.
Like we're there tonight. I don't know. Are you guys going tonight to the show? Okay, it's going to be interesting.
Those private school boys the other night were great.
Yeah,
I like that. I like them. They're great.
I like it. Your crowd, how you get so many different individuals. You got like private school boys who really don't understand that you're kind of taking the piss out.
Yeah, they think I'm taking the piss. They think what I'm saying is actually what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I'm like, let's bash chicks, they're like, that is hilarious. Yeah. Like, we actually should go and do that.
So they're saying very meta about it. Like, so you got those guys, right? And then you also have like, I don't know, a 16-year-old with their parents or something like that. And then you've got like clearly uni students hanging out and they get the meta-ness of the content. And then you got people like me who are like 30 plus and just find it objectively funny. So it was a very interesting mix going to that show.
Yeah, I think that's just down to my sort of multi-layered TikToks that are just really, you peel, it's like an onion, you just peel it back and there's, so many different ways to interpret these videos.
Jordan can't stand this interview.
Yeah. You got it to really understand my TikToks, you have to watch them 3 times.
15 seconds.
Yeah. You've really got to spend 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Really just breaking it down, because there's a lot unsaid.
So much. There's a lot that goes over people's heads.
Oh, all of it.
Particularly anyone with the last name Delu.
Yeah. If you think guy at the movies that's loud is about a guy in the movie that's loud, you're the problem. It's about how we don't listen to each other.
So if you were to make a Franken comedian, I like asking this to all comics. who would you combine?
Franken comedian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the best bits of people.
Okay, I would do the brain. God, I'm really sucking his dick. But I'd have to do the brain of Steen Raskopoulos.
Okay.
Because he's so quick-witted. Maybe the wit of Steen Raskopoulos.
Okay.
Because he's so quick-witted and he's so, like, just everything. The stuff he thinks up is amazing. I'd do the... Maybe the energy of Auntie Donna, because they're so, like, I've watched their stage show and they're just 100. The whole, like, the energy
They're
is
covered
insane.
in sweat.
Yeah. So their energy, because they fully commit to stuff, which you need to do. Maybe like the charm of Bobby Lee.
Okay.
Because he's just, maybe the storytelling ability of Bobby Lee.
I wouldn't say it's charm. I'd say he disarms people.
Yeah.
He's very vulnerable.
His ability to tell a story, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
Maybe the dryness of, I love Anne Edmonds.
Okay.
I have to throw a woman in there. I'm a sexist. I like Anne Edmonds. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah. Not Hannah Gadsby.
Not Hannah Gadsby.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hannah Gadsby judged me at the Class Clowns competition and
we won't
she
speak
thought I
further
was
about
bad and she didn't say hello to me and she ignored me and that's fine. She's an anxious person. I get it. Anyway.